while you're screaming, racist, 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 I have a word for you. Slander, 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 slander. Google it. It has a law. Take my name out your fucking mouth, or you will get done for slander. I don't fuck about. How about that? Calm down, Billy. Reach the stage, rude boy. Giving it verbals, reach the stage. You and me, we've always handled things as men. And all of a sudden, you want to act like a bitch. So let's talk. Of course it's a fake account. He ain't got the love spots. I will go over there, by the way. I will go over there, but I just think that doing the whole going over there one by one, if this is supposed to be this big sit down talk, yeah, then the message, it shouldn't be rushed. Why is it suddenly rushed? Why is it out of nowhere? Nobody consulted with anybody in the black community, yeah, who's offended as to what time this meeting's going to be, where it's going to be, if we're comfortable with where it's going to be. Who said that's okay? That's us yet again. I know it stopped, so it should. That's us yet again. You thinking you can click your fingers and tell us where to go? Yes, a massa. No. Fuck no. You're mad. Good evening, Angela.
You're right, Devon.
How are we?
I'm going to be honest.
Please do.
Comment. When you say white, yeah, that's the issue for me. Why does it have to be white, black? Do you know what I mean? It just sounds like. Do you know
okay.
Know you, if that makes sense.
Hey, Devon, just wanted to quickly pop up and say, bro, I ended my life because obviously I weren't holding a one-sided life. But if we all want to if everyone wants to get together off the app and talk and about arranging it and having a proper sit down, because obviously we need to remember that we're the ones that need to be setting these examples to our communities. Then
no, bro, I respect you. Listen, I don't even want to cut you off. I respect you so much, yeah. I respect you so much. I've seen you do work for charity and so on and so forth. Your space is the perfect space. Listen, it was no disrespect to you. Obviously, I came in there and then an agenda was whatever. Yeah, I'm more than willing to do that.
Like that. That's why I ended the live. And like I said, it's a case of when everyone gets together and discusses it and works out a time and a day, and like you said, wherever's comfortable for you all, then we'll do it. Do you know what I mean?
No, bro, I completely. I don't want you to think that I was coming at you either. Did you Google it, by the way?
What? Yeah. Well, bro, I was in the middle of it. And I was like, oh, cool.
Yeah, I'll explain it to Angie in a minute, but no, I don't mean any disrespect to you or your platform.
I'm gonna jump down anyway. You can have a chat with Angie anyway. But yeah, I'll speak to you.
Yeah. Keep by the phone. It might still go ahead. I'm gonna speak to Angie and then we'll see. Yeah,
no worries. Just shout at you.
Mod me and I'll mod you.
I'm your bestie.
No, we're not besties. So go on.
But don't be like that. You was in my life.
I know the narrative that you're trying to do. It's okay. So what issue do you have with?
Listen, you're saying whatever, yeah, but you know I always put you in my box. You know I do that.
Of course you do.
I don't have an issue with you, to be honest with you. I have my opinion. Do you know what I mean? I've
never had an issue with you until today. I'm going to be honest.
What? Listen, like I said, I always have empathy for mental health. You probably don't, I don't know if you heard me because there's traffic there, but you know, NJ Host understood that. Maybe you don't understand that. Okay, and that's fine. But he understood where I was coming from. But like I said, well, I've got my thought now.
That's all right. Take your time.
And I was going to say, I've asked many people to show me the receipts when I have been racist. They can still not. They can't do it. I've showed evidence on my side. But, you know, people cannot do that. So, for me to be put on that petition, I've never been racist. I might be a lot of other things, but never been racist to the black community, and that's for sure.
Does the petition have anything to do with me?
No, it hasn't. I'm just letting you know.
Okay.
Nothing to do with you. This is just letting you know. It's why I was at one point I supported Pearl. You know, all these people. You know, a lot of Pagey Baby and all sat in my box since. You know what I mean? I just think it's the hypocrisy on the set. When you sat with me, why would you be sitting with the racist if that's what you suddenly think? Do you know what I mean? And
like I said, Today I changed my mind when. Anyway, I will happily sit down and have a conversation with you one day without the chatter of the other noise. I don't know if today's the day. It's up to you.
Just because I have an opinion the way I do does not make me racist. I have an opinion because I can relate to mental health, and like I said, NJ host did understand that because I do have the empathy for. Why do I have to turn my camera on? Someone's
You don't have to.
Yeah.
You don't have to. Carry on.
Do you know what I mean? I have the empathy for people's mental health, and that's all it is. I don't condone anyone saying what they said either. Do you know what I mean?
Do you think that I have? Do you think I care about mental health?
Well, you probably do, but what I'm saying is with Zach the Brat, I kind of not that I don't listen. I don't know I'm off the app or anything like that, but I just see a different side to him. Like I just see a change of character. He's out. He doesn't seem right. I've noticed that for a few days. It's just I've noticed it with yourself. You don't always put your face on the camera. I've not seen it. Do you know what I mean? I'm
Sorry,
not saying with mental health. I'm not saying you don't. But unless I know, I'm not going to know, am I? Do you know what I mean? And Zach, he does have a past. I don't want to be responsible for pushing someone over the edge. And I think because of that past he has, I feel it's very, very touchy for me. Although I'm not saying you can't feel the way you're feeling, because I'm not saying that. I just don't want to be involved in having that effect or doing that to somebody on here. Do you know what I mean?
But when you word it like that, it makes sense. But earlier on today, like I said to you, when you said let's prioritize mental health over racism, that is like when you said nobody's got receipts for you to be being racist. Yeah. By definition, that is racism because...
No. The thing is,
I'll explain to you why.
What I'm trying to say, you're jumping on everything I say. You've got to realise people sometimes you might misunderstand what someone said or it's come out wrong or, it's like I don't want to be feeling, or nobody wants to feel like they're walking on eggshells around someone. Do you know what I mean? Like now, I'm just one of those where it just comes out sometimes so wrong. Okay, now, or maybe you've taken it that way. But what I'm just saying, I don't want to be responsible for pushing someone over the edge. And to me, that would be more important than what someone has said, even racism, because I don't want to be involved, or how would I sleep? Do you know what I mean? If I was to be involved in something like that happening to someone, and that's all I meant by that. But like I said, sometimes it just comes out wrong. You know what I mean?
Right, and all I'll say back in reply to you is this: I watched Miss Remy cry on live today. I've watched over 10 black women cry today. So do you think that is? Why do you think that is?
Listen, I'm not saying yes, and I'm not saying that it hasn't affected their mental health. I'm not saying that, but I'm just looking at Zach's history, and if you know what I know, I don't know if you do, because it did go live, then you'd maybe understand a little bit more. I'm not talking about someone that's crying, even though I think it's sad if they're crying over that. They've been triggered, right? I think there's a different kind of level of mental health, different levels, and I think his level of mental health could be on the edge. Do you get what I'm saying? Where it could do something silly, and that's what I'm afraid of.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But does mental health result in you say? Let me tell you this. I know a lot of people that suffer from mental health. There's a lot of people on this app that suffer from mental health, and when it goes sideways and it goes left, when those people drink.
Yeah.
When those people drink. Because he did something stupid. There's accountability. Okay, I have all the sympathy in the world, for Zach the Brat's mental health, regardless of even what he said. Nobody wants anybody to do anything to themselves, but there's something called accountability. You've hurt a lot of people, and it feels like not you personally, but it feels like when you defend that, you're ignoring everybody else's pain. And that comes across as favoritism. Favoritism is part of racism. It means that you look down. Go on.
You know what you didn't see? You probably didn't see this because I don't think anyone played it. I don't think it's on FYP when he came in with me on Corey, and he said that he felt he's being bullied. He's talking about his SH.
I saw it.
Okay, well, I've seen. I haven't been watching them, but I have watched them. On and off. He did not look like in a good place at all, right? So I just felt, I'm just one of those that you know, even though he said something wrong, yes, he needs to take accountability. I'm not taking how you feel away, right? He needs definitely take accountability, 100%. But you know it's like I don't like witch hunts. Yeah, I don't like any of that. You know, I just don't like it because I think, you know, why kick a man when he's down? I just thought maybe it wasn't the right time. You know, maybe we could have left another day. I don't know what's right and what's wrong in this situation.
So you know the definition of a witch hunt, Angie, is somebody who is innocent and who is being accused of something. Yeah. Zach the Brat is not innocent. This is not a witch hunt. This is people being upset and angry at a terminology that is not acceptable. That's not a witch hunt.
But you've also got people that, you know, just having an opinion because they don't like the man. Do you know what I mean? And every opportunity to throw him in the bus. I don't like that. You know what I mean? But I totally understand. I'm not taking your feelings away from you. If you know, it's, you know, but you've got to remember, you know, listen, it's social media and it's you know, people have said far worse. You know what I mean? We need to like not pick and choose. We shouldn't have selective outrage either. Do you know what I mean? And you know, like the petition, there was only 4 people on there, but where's CLA, court? You know, there's so many other people that have been racist. You know, why weren't they on that petition? Let's not pick and choose. You know what I mean? KTB, who said the worst, she said the N-word. Where was everyone else the energy for her? You get what I'm saying?
So basically, you're upset about being on the petition, aren't you?
No. It's not about that. I'm trying to explain to you. What about everyone else? What about KEB? I think she said the N-word. Where was everyone's energy for her? You know, we can't select people because they've got a big platform. Oh, let's pick on him. He's got a big platform. What about other people that have said the same thing? Do you know what I mean?
So can I explain why it's not? Can I explain why it's not select? It's not select. It's an accumulation. So every single time these people that you speak of haven't been held to account and everyone's just ignored it and moved on, people are fucked off and people are angry. So now, as a result of that, as a result of nobody doing anything about it, somebody's put a petition out that you guys don't like, that you're quite clearly scared of.
I'm not bothered about it. I thought it was funny. I'm not going to lie. I mean, I don't know why I'm in it. I did a petition myself. It was a laugh. To me, it was banter, you know, what I did. But I thought it was ridiculous, you know, when you've missed quite a lot of people off. You know, there's no way I've been racist towards the black community. You know, I keep saying over and over again, show me the evidence, then I put my hands up. But I'm not putting my hands up to something that I have not done. So I don't really give a shit too much about that petition, Devon. I really don't. It's just pathetic. And, you know, the reason why I'm on it is because of people's dislike for me, and that's all it is. No, and like when you was in with Paigey Baby and Torian and all that, all I heard was me and Pearl, me and Pearl, me and Pearl. Well, mainly me, actually. I don't know if it's because I was cam-2ing it. And I thought to myself, oh, okay, why has it gone back to us? It's just weird.
So I think that the conversation amongst the creators is a good idea. I think No Faces platform is fine. Will you be in attendance?
Well, yeah, but I mean, I was just going to say I don't think it is a good idea because there's going to be a big row. Can you imagine? You know what I mean? Everyone trying to, you know, speak unless you do a Showtime or something. I don't know, but it's going to just make people more angry. I think. You know what I mean? I don't know.
I feel like we're grown-ups. And I think there needs to happen because like I said, each one of these things that has happened has just been smoothed over and ignored, and that's why that petition exists. I didn't create it, but it said it's people are angry and frustrated, and when your people like yourself come on and support the person that has hurt us, that's where the animosity comes from.
Yeah, but you got to remember, I don't condone that at all, you know what I mean? But like I said, I just see him in a really bad place and I don't want to be responsible. I'm not going to be responsible for kicking a man when he's down at that time. I'm not saying he shouldn't take accountability, not at all. But I know his past and, you know, I want to sleep at night. I don't want to be involved in doing anything to someone. Do you get what I'm saying? Because I can relate. So it's not...
Exactly. You can relate. I asked you to Google unconscious bias, right? Because that's what this is in play. You relate more to Zach. Listen. I understand you relating more.
Being in a dark, not forget the racism for a sec. I can relate to him being in a dark place. You know, the mental health side of it. Nothing else. I don't condone any of the rest. Yeah. What I'm saying is, I don't want to be involved in waking up one morning, and something happening to someone where they've done something to themselves, and it's because of my life or because I've said something that pushed them over the edge over an app. Even though yes, he did say something wrong. I don't care. I don't want to be involved in doing that to anyone. Do you understand? I'm not saying that you
Yes.
can't. I'm not saying you can't, though. You know what I mean?
So if one day, yeah, I'm on the edge and I feel like, you know, the comments have got to me and I'm a washed up actor and I'm really at my edge.
You're a washed-up
Am I allowed, can I ask you a question? Am I allowed to scream homophobic things at the top of my lungs and then you guys will want to hug me?
I'm not saying
You
that.
wouldn't.
No, we did speak about it. I made it quite
You
fair.
wouldn't.
But I had my opinions. I had people to say that, oh, I don't like Zach. I wasn't biased on my life this morning. I wasn't, Devon. You can't say I was. Oh, you didn't like my opinion. I understand that. But I had other people voicing their opinions about Zach. It was two sides, you know. So, but I didn't want to keep push. I didn't want to just push him. But we did have our opinions, Devon. I don't condone what he said. I really, really don't.
It's okay.
100%
Like, I think we're...
And I'm, you know, and it's sad that it's you know, that you are affected by what he said, you know, by what someone else has said now, because it seems like the domino effect. You know what I mean? That it's kind of like on a regular basis now, and no one should be putting up with racism, especially in 2024. I understand.
But you could have started with that in the morning, but instead what you started with
I was
was...
so affected. I'm not gonna lie. I was so affected by last night seeing him in this way. I was scared. You know what? I kept going to say. I don't know if you watched my live, but I was saying, someone go, please, someone phone up him. And I didn't even know what he had said at this point. Oh, someone go to him, please. Someone phone him. Oh my God. People were, you know, saying stuff in the comments. I was like, oh my God, where's he gone? Someone needs to. Do you know what I mean? It was a worrying time for a lot of people. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, so what if we say, right, we'll give this a week to make sure that Zach the Brat is fine, no one will talk about him. Is he going to be held to account after that?
Oh, I think, you know, the fact that we are firing up lives, I did fire up live. I could have just not done it, Devon. I did fire up that live and discuss it. And I had many people in there that didn't be referred or unfollowed for whatever reason. It wasn't biased, I can tell you that, Devon. You know what I mean? It was two sides. So when you say take accountability, what do you want to happen next? Because I fired up the live, you fired up the live, other people fired up the lives. So what do you want to happen now? I'm asking. I'm not being sarcastic. I'm just asking, what's the resolution?
The resolution is that people don't take our pain and it gets acknowledged. What was happening also, Dave Duran, I'll call his name, he even today said, why is everyone talking about the racism? Let's put that to one side and let's talk about the ableism. Now, I'm here for the ableism. They too have every single right, and I welcome anybody with a disability to come up to my stage and also express how sickened you are by the whole thing.
To be fair, I thought the racism was worse.
It's not oppression Olympics. It's both disgusting. It's both disgusting.
Listen, you can get grips, guys. Get a grip on TikTok, right? Now, I'm not saying that word spastic. I will say this so people know what I'm talking about. Okay?
Why do you need to say it?
Well, because people won't know what I'm talking about. I'm not calling anyone that. Do you know that's what it's usually. They use in the 80s and 90s a lot, yeah? So you know how many people have actually said it off TikTok? Oh, stop being a stairs or whatever. You know, it's not that deep. It really isn't. You know, if you're triggered or affected by that word, then heaven forbid what you know, because the shit that people come out with, get off TikTok, you know, because, you know, then you're too sensitive to TikTok. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it, but people have said far worse than that, man.
So when you say get off TikTok, you're too sensitive for TikTok. You know, the mental health people like yourself and Zach, who everyone worries about. Why is it okay for you to say for us to get off TikTok if we're so triggered?
I'm not saying about
you're
that.
allowed to stay on TikTok.
You see how you're twisting stuff.
Why are you guys allowed to stay on TikTok if you're triggered to SH or something like that? Doesn't it mean that you should get off TikTok as well?
Look at the trolls. Like, not in the comment. I can't see the comments. I've turned mine off. But you know, look at what the trolls say. Look what other people say.
I'm not listening to mine.
That word, right? I'm not saying it's offensive. I'm not saying it's right to say it, but it's not that deep either. You know, and if someone's affected,
it's not that deep for you, Angie. Angie, it's not that deep for you because you're able-bodied. There are some people that live their entire lives that have had that hurled at them in school. I heard a woman today. I can't remember what live it was. I think it might have been Alex Brigham's, and she came up, and she wasn't even able to get her words out because of that word that she'd had all her life. You don't understand it because we're able-bodied. We can see, we can walk, we can run.
That's not just a word for disability. It's also a word to call someone a fool or stupid. You know what I mean? There's other meanings for that word. And all I'm saying is that word isn't as deep. I can understand people being affected, but I'm sorry, I don't think it's that deep where someone's actually come on into a box crying their eyes out and it's affected their mental health over that word, unless they've been called it personally. If they've not been called it personally, I don't. But what Zach said, and them coming up in a box tearful, has affected them the way they have said it has. No, I don't believe it. Sorry.
You don't believe it? I watched it. I watched the woman. Like, I'm an actor. I can tell when people are lying and when they're telling the truth. Yeah, that woman was hurt.
Yeah, that's triggered her because she's been called it personally. I suppose it's brought back memories. You get what I'm saying, and that's sad. But you know what? There's always going to be something that triggers someone on here. You know, you can't say anything. You know, there's always going to be something that I say something that's not offensive, and it's going to trigger someone. People love to be triggered, and the people love it. They love to be affected, and that's the truth.
So can I ask you a question, Angie? You know, when people were put in, and I don't agree with this at all, but it's an example that needs to be brought up. When people constantly use the horrible broccoli symbol and they say broccoli to you, does that not trigger you?
The thing is, that's sending it.
Is that okay?
Okay, can I reply? That's actually giving me that message directly to me. That's saying it to me. Zach never did that. Zach was saying that he's saying it as you're an idiot. He didn't call anybody that. You understand? He never called that to anybody. He was just saying that's what I use for you're an idiot, you're a fool. Gracie admitted she has said that word also. Did you get what I'm saying? But unless it's directly at you.
Unless Gracie is God, unless Gracie is a higher power, I don't care if Gracie thinks that it's okay. Tell it to somebody with a disability that was called it in school and that it triggers. You can't decide what is hurtful to other people, Angie. In the same way that, like,
you know what?
So it's okay because
I'm not condoning. One second, I'm not condoning you. I understand, but even when I have a drink, right? Okay, a drink of alcohol, I've affected someone. You know why? Because they've said, "Oh my God, my mum was an alcohol." I've had one person come and crying her eyes out, being I'm affected because and that was I hadn't even got drunk. I had my first glass of being affected because my mum was an alcoholic. You know what I mean? There's always going to be something that someone's offended by. I'm not saying that word is okay. Direct it at anybody either. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I think that
no, it is social media. People just need to move on, and not take, that word.
I feel like you need to hold the same energy. Then when you're at your lowest and people are trying to wind you up and stuff like that, I'll remember this lack of empathy.
Mocking someone's mental health, mocking something, mocking this and mocking that, and Zach saying it and like not actually he wasn't calling anyone. He didn't say that directly to anybody. He was just saying he sometimes uses that as you're an idiot, you're a fool. I'm not gonna lie, I've not said it. I have said it in the past, yes, but he didn't direct it at anybody, and I think that's a difference.
I don't know what you want me to say.
I know that in 2024, 80s and 90s, it used to be used quite a lot. You know what I mean? I'm not saying it's right, but I'm just saying people are going to be affected by everything.
Can I ask you a question, Angie? Because it will help you to understand. What is your definition of racism?
What do you mean my definition of racism?
What do you think that racism is?
What do I think racism is?
If you had to describe it to someone, what is racism?
I describe it was someone that was, a black person be racist towards a white person. I think what you said about to Dave, it sounded racist to me. I'm not going to lie.
Right. Well, that wasn't my question.
Yeah.
If you were to describe against someone's colour, and do you think it's as simple as that?
No, I don't think it's as simple as that.
Okay, and I'm asking you for a reason, because you're asking to bring receipts as to what is racist and what isn't racist. So I need to know what your definition is so that I can explain to you why I feel certain things that you've done as racist.
I mean, racism is against someone, is not liking someone because of the colour of their skin.
And you think that's all it is?
No, well, listen, there's a lot more to it, but I think sometimes someone can see racism when there's no racism. Like, for example, what I said about the boat. I just happen to say a boat. That does not make me a racist. Do you understand? Do you know what I mean?
It's so hard.
You know, you call racism that wasn't there, basically.
But you don't know what you've
explain?
displayed the fact. You've displayed the fact, yeah, that you don't even know what racism is. So therefore, you're not equipped to tell people because you don't know the meaning of the word, Angie. And I mean this with the most respect. It's very hard to have a conversation with someone telling people that something's not racist when they don't know what it means.
Here all day. Like I said, racism, it could be, you know, you got discrimination, racism against a community. You know, the black community is a minority.
Yeah. It's also antagonizing behavior. In the definition, part of that is antagonizing behavior. Do you believe that you can be antagonistic sometimes?
No.
Oh my God, you have people of color often coming to you and telling you that you've hurt them. Yeah, that is the antagonistic behavior.
By what? Why? By what? Tell me by what I've said.
There have been so many instances, Angie. When I came to you, and we were cool, and you and Dave Durand were playing your prank and you put the orange makeup on your face, I came to you very calmly.
Right now, this is where exactly is my point, Devon.
This is one example.
You need to educate yourself a little bit, Devon, as well. Let me tell you why, okay?
I really don't.
I did a dare with Dave Durand. There was no racism involved, but you saw racism that was not there. It was pink lipstick. I was not thinking, oh my God, this looks like a black face. Neither was Dave. It was a dare. That's all it was.
Correct. But when black people came up to you and said, we perceive it to be that way, rather than take that on board and say, hey, I'm sorry, this was a mistake. You said, this is not racism, this is blah, blah, blah. That's antagonistic.
Okay, Devon, let me tell you something, right? Okay, if I said that the sky was blue, you'd call me a racist, okay?
Where are you getting that from?
One basically, bad example. One basically saying is you're seeing racism that's not there. Yeah, that's a problem. And there is such thing as a race card. And
you don't know what racism is. That's the problem.
You know what, Devon? What I'm saying is you used the race card on that day when I had that lipstick on my face. You did. And there is such thing as a race card, by the way, Devon.
Is there?
Yes.
Who founded that? Where did that come from? Where did that terminology come from?
Oh, here we go.
The race card.
What I'm saying, Devon, you're seeing something that's not there. It's like treading on eggshells. I put red lipstick on, you'll probably still say it's racist. I put green lipstick on, you'll probably say it's racist. It's like you do use a race card because you're seeing racism that's not there. And I understand maybe it's because of the experience you've had to deal with daily. I understand that.
Yeah.
You've got to think about the intention behind it. It means everything. Just because I said boat, yeah, it does not mean I'm being racist because I said the word boat. Do you understand? Just because I put pink lipstick on does not mean my intention was to be racist. And that is so important, is the intention behind it. Some people could say things, and because you've had that trauma, and I don't know if that's the right word, trauma, or you've had that, daily experience of racism, you're seeing things that are not there all the time. Did you get what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
What you're saying makes sense, but it's incorrect. I think what real racism is, by definition, I know that's how it works, and that's the problem. How you see things is not necessarily the truth, Angie. You're one woman. There's many other people, and words have meanings and definitions, and racism has a definition. And unfortunately, you might not like it, right? But by definition, today you were racist.
Oh no, Devon, you were racist. I'm going to go
Thank you.
Because I just,
of course.
Maybe
have a nice evening.
You've experienced a traumatic event or daily experience of racism. I do understand it, but I think you're bringing your trauma or daily experience to TikTok. I really do. So I'm gonna go. See you later.
You have a nice evening. Bye, Angela. Bye. I think. Sorry, I haven't looked at this comment section once, but I think that we have learned a lot. It to be every day screaming in each other's faces. I think that we learned something today very quickly. If you can't define racism, if you don't know the meaning of the word racism, you have no right to tell people that they're using the race card, because if you can't define it, you have no right to tell anybody that they are wrong in regards to it. I handled that in the best way that I think that I could. I hope that it was enlightening. I'm going to let some people up. I don't know how I feel right now.
I was gonna speak to Angie about the.
I know, but like that's where things. You know where it is. I had to ignore all my requests because a lot of the time, when people come up, I would prefer a one-on-one because that's the most clear conversation that has, I think, gone on this app for a while. And I would rather they just reveal themselves than have a slanging match and people start cussing her out.
I'm just questioning this whole, like, it means stupid. It means a silly person. It's like, no, it really isn't.
I apologise to anybody who suffers, not even suffers, who lives with a disability.
Top boy, man.
You don't deserve that at all as well.
I think people, I don't know where this whole, like, it comes from, like, meaning that someone's silly or stupid. Like, it's not, it is directly, it is ableist, and it is directly against people that they refer to as, like, mentally disabled because they had conditions like spasticity, the spasms of the muscles and uncontrollable muscles. This led people to believe that they were also mentally disabled, and it became a term to insult people. And it's something that I was in a wheelchair before. I am disabled. I've been disabled for the majority of my life, and I have had these things made. And it's just like, you know, I did argue. We obviously, like, I do as a disabled woman, I don't agree with that Zach saying that at all. But the main point was, to me, what he had said about black people and the terminology that he used, and the fact that he said to bun black people in the worst way, is that needs to be addressed more urgently in this situation. That no.
Do you know what I'm really? Do you know what I'm really struggling with at the minute, guys? Is, and it comments as well. They are now clinging to a recording where I said white spaces. Like I teach on the subject of racism. White space is not offensive. It just means a predominantly white space on the, like, Google is free. Somebody said they Googled it and that's not the meaning. Google black space. It's not racist. I could have said a black space and no one would have said anything. Just Google it.
Yeah,
somebody said it is offensive.
Common sense.
Oh my God. It's the clutching at straws. Like, don't put, okay, here's something I'm going to say, yeah? Stop putting weird things on my name because that is slander. And I'm not the type of person to be slandered. I will release my own recording to the world. Nobody will say it's racist. You're so uneducated. So uneducated. Sorry, I'll bring up more people. Carry on, guys. This is your space.
What you said wasn't racist, and that's coming from a person who's white. I'm just clearing that up.
Well,
literal, like, terminology, internet terminology, they don't know.
They just love spinning the narrative and trying to make someone out to be what they ain't. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. Thank you, brother. I respect it. That was hard work, man.
This is honestly, Devon. You know how obviously the theatre do like black only like week, so that it is literally so that black actors actually get their moment, and like you've got all of these people, the white people that are sitting there going, oh, but no white people, how dare they get to do that? But white people do get to go and see it. It's just allowing black directors, black actors, because there's so much whitewashing in Hollywood and in theatre. Like this is the type of people. And again, I don't know how many times we need to say it, as a white person, you cannot be racist towards a white person. You could be discriminating against, but we have never ever had our skin color make us feel, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh my God, what's the word? Suppressed, that's the word. Sorry.
oppressed.
I think you did a
Hello.
really good job, Devon, in trying to explain.
I tried to keep it. I tried to not react in the way that
Yeah,
people
you was,
want me to react.
You weren't abusive or offensive. You had a proper conversation and it was good.
Yeah.
Right, Devon.
But
You listened to her as well.
yeah.
You listened to her. You listened to her, Devon, and that was good. You didn't attack her.
of course, like that's what this space is always going to be. Everyone can have their say regardless.
I educate people, you see. If you're shouting and screaming at people and screaming amongst each other, nobody hears anything.
I just wanted to come up just to say that the lack of education on this subject on this app is absolutely driving me mad. The fact that
it is me as well. It is me.
People are saying that you can be racist to a white person when people don't even understand how the hierarchy of race was created.
Yeah.
In the 1400s, a white Portuguese man literally defined the concept of blackness and then the concept of whiteness to justify chattel slavery, and this is what created the hierarchy of race. And this is,
thank you, Kathy. Wow.
And this is
Sorry,
how it's a social construct which began then and has gone all around the world, and this is what we live under now. It's a socially constructed system where the white supremacy is the highest and anyone not white is oppressed, and that's what we live under now.
Even in India, that's where the word caste come from.
Exactly.
Even in India, the bleaching the skin and everything, and if you're dark in India, you're then classed as lower class because you work on the streets, because obviously you're darker and the sun gets you. But yeah, it's terrible, and colonisation has done that as well.
Exactly, we colonised and we forced our language, and we haven't stole everything.
We
our
shoved
culture.
the Bible down everybody's throat around the world.
Exactly. We're indoctrinated with the ways that we think because of the media.
Do you know how refreshing?
The way that the things that we're told, the way that we think, the way the things that we believe. We're indoctrinated. We're inherently racist because we don't realise. And this is our white privilege. We walk through life with white privilege. We don't realise because we don't have to live these things.
Well, somebody called Yardi was saying in Page's live that he just keeps away from it so it don't affect him. But I don't feel that should be the case. I feel like what Devon's doing, I feel like people need educating because black people go through things every single day. Undercurrents of racism, the odd wink, the odd nod, and they know, and we won't feel it. It's like somebody said, there's no racism in Buckingham Palace. Well, they won't because everybody's white.
Well, it just absolutely, I can't, it makes me so angry, the things that are said on this app, and sometimes I just have to close it down and come away because I can't stand it anymore.
I've listened. It is definitely lack of education.
And
it's all right, Angie, saying it's like a racist card. I'm not against her or anything.
There's no racist card.
But what she don't realise, it's how it's making people feel.
Exactly. There's generation after generation after generation of people that have, post-traumatic slave disorder is a thing.
Yeah, you have to be mindful and think like, well, painting my face and putting lipstick all over me and I wouldn't do that.
I wouldn't.
Because I know that could affect people. And I don't think she meant to do that.
Yeah,
but she's got to take on board
I agree.
She's got to take on board the after effects. And think, well, I won't do that again.
First. It's the thinking. Could this be deemed? It's the thinking. It's the complete lack of just not thinking.
Across?
Exactly.
It's shutting up and listening, isn't it? When someone's coming and telling you something, just shut up and listen to what they're saying.
Exactly.
You don't know. You don't understand.
Go onto YouTube. Listen to. There are stories on there from people reading out slave stories. Listen to them. Listen to what these people went through. Yeah. These are the people that are, the people. There's generations and generations that are. This is their families.
Yeah.
And then you're coming out with words like.
To be fair, the Irish were in America. The Irish were the slaves before the black people Africans was brought over there, and it was the Irish that was the slaves.
But were they indentured? I don't think that was on the. Was that on the? I don't think that was on the basis of race, though, was it? Although I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, I don't know.
It's because they were Irish, and the
Irish is not a race.
No, but they came from Ireland, so they are. It is a race, isn't it?
No, so Irish is not a race.
So obviously, Irish is predominantly white, so they're part of the white race.
But in America, if you go back in history, which is on YouTube, you'll find that the Irish were used as slaves.
Yeah, but they're countries. It's not a race.
Yeah, so that's then
Well, then the people from Ireland. Then let's go there. The people from Ireland went over to America, and they weren't paid. They were basically slaves. Then African people was put over into America, and the Irish actually started getting paid, and they went up a class. I think it was more of a class thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's like a colour thing. It's not on the same scale as chattel slavery.
Yeah,
but Devon might be able to. I would imagine Devon will probably be able to.
It's discrimination, but I get where you're coming from.
Discrimination. It's along the same lines. Yeah.
The thing that annoys me is I'm constantly hearing mental health as an excuse, and that offends me because I've suffered with mental health most of my adult life, but I'm not racist. I don't use my mental health as an excuse to make people feel bad. I don't use it as an excuse to make people cry.
Well, it's
no excuse.
My son's got cerebral palsy, and the word spastic is actually a medical term, and we still use it. It is a medical term, but people then use it. My son's a spastic by a consultant, but the way it's used when it's derogatory is bang out of order.
That's the thing. It's been made derogatory.
People feel it's wrong. Yeah.
And the thing is, rightly or wrongly, that it is a medical word, but if you know by saying it you're making somebody feel bad, you might not mean to make them feel bad,
it's hate,
but you have to take into account how they're feeling.
Yeah.
The issue is that you're giving these people have platforms.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and Angie's saying if you can't take it, you shouldn't be on here. But unfortunately, I mean, I just come on TikTok. I'm not a creator. I wouldn't even consider myself a TikToker. I think this is only the second time I've spoke on here. But she is big. She is a big creator. So she has to take into account that everything she says is being heard by thousands of people. And if she upsets somebody, whether she agrees with it or not, she has to acknowledge it.
But Debbie, that's what Angie wants to do. I'm sorry. Like, I keep saying this over. Like, she plays the victim card, but she wants to be controversial. She wants the hate. She wants us talking about her. She might play the whole I'm being bullied and all of this stuff, but that's what she wants. Like, I'm sorry.
It is.
Rage bait. Rage bait. It is. Evening, everyone. She's rage baiting.
That's what's upsetting.
Sorry, guys. Hi, Devon. Evening, everyone.
Hi.
I had to pop up because I've been on. Didn't know nothing about TikTok till about a couple of years ago, and everyone was saying, "Don't go onto TikTok. Don't get onto TikTok." And I did. I started being, doing shopping and stuff like that. And that was really all about sorry, I'm a bit nervous. That's what I really did on here. But since last year, I've started seeing the drama unfolding as I got into these creators, the big creators. And I have noticed, as someone who is Indian, that if you are of colour, black, Indian, whatever, You're not promoted on this app. You know what I mean? You're
Yeah.
not promoted at all. If you're promoted, big people that have been targeted just because they have good personalities that actually bring in, some content to the app, but because of their just black, she's also white as well, so she can say and speak however she wants.
I
but
don't
this is not affecting
understand.
this is not just affecting the people on TikTok. This is affecting people at home and triggering them big time.